Cool. So, call's recording now, James. So, thanks for obviously letting me record the call. I just want to ask you essentially just handful of questions, just to sort of get your experience and like goods and the bads and the uglies, as they say. So, essentially, your do you just want to introduce yourself, like your name, like me, your name, where you're from, maybe your age, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So I'm James. I'm 27. I'm based on the Wirral. Yeah, that that's me.
Yeah, you kind of summed it up very simply. ADHD minds will spend about an hour in that little part there, but you did well. James, first question I just want to ask you is sort of before before enrolling into the Mind Your ADHD Academy, essentially, what were you really struggling with that maybe your family kind of saw that you was hoping to get some help with?
Well, I mean, I start off with obviously the addictions and the sort of obsessions of the man that was struggling with there, like the partying and the taking drugs and drinking, and that was wrecking sort of like relationships and my family. Before I sort of like signed on with yourself. I mean, it got to the point where obviously it affected my work as well. So, um, since jumping on here, it all became it all became overwhelming. Obviously, to the point where like I've come here to the Man ADHD Academy. But I think obviously, having been through it now, and obviously the check-ins that I've had with yourself, like we've spoken about it previously, and about me learning just that little bit more about how to compartmentalize problems and working with working with what's in front of me rather than kind of like looking sort of a week, a month, a year in advance and just keeping things in the day. Um, and the work that I've done here is obviously linked quite closely into the work that I've done in recovery as well. Like I'm nearly 9 months sober, so they're all sort of tools that have kind of like helped me progress and build and um. I don't even want to say like create a better life sort of thing, but just deal with life properly, like and then creating a better life will come when it comes, kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. And thanks for sharing that, James. And you're absolutely right. One thing that I believe in, and it's something that I would have said to you many times at the early sessions that we would have had, is that one thing that I can guarantee is that whether you're an ADHD human being or a non-ADHD human being, we will experience an element of pain in our lives. We can't escape pain. It's part of being a human. But the choice that we have is how we deal with that pain, how we deal with that situation. And some people, especially with ADHD, we catastrophize and we end up stuck in that pain in our head. And the other option to that is we find a way to propel out of the situation, almost using that pain as the fuel to propel you to the next level. And you know, you are someone that literally is the kind of living proof that you can change your life around. You joined the program only a handful of months ago, whenever it was, but you've literally, from the first day I saw you till now, it's like chalk and cheese. You're so optimistic. You've got energy. You're vibrant. And I just want you to obviously recognize. I said this to you even before I clicked record, but you are vibrant, James. You're like in a good place. You're optimistic. You're thinking differently. You're living in the moment. These are attributes that people with ADHD almost can never experience in their life. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? What would you say is the biggest advice that you would give to someone who's watching this now that maybe has got a drug addiction or addicted to alcohol or drinks during the week or like self-medicates in any way, shape, or form, drugs, pills, whatever it looks like? What advice, James, would you give to that
I'd probably
person?
keep I'd probably keep it short and sweet and just say give it a chance. Give it a chance and be open minded to sort of trying something new. And if you don't if you don't break the pattern that you want to break today, then the loop will just continue to repeat and repeat and repeat. So I think like to put it sort of like short and sweet really is just like give it a chance, give give the idea of another life, another way of life. Sorry, not another life, another way of life. A, a chance because you might find you half enjoy it as much as you think you enjoy going out and partying and taking drugs and drinking alcohol on the weekend. So you might find you enjoy an alternative way of life without having to do that. Just takes obviously people to sort of show you the way. Which is what I needed as well. So
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd keep it at that really.
No, that's beautiful, James. And I think that's the best way to kind of explain it. A lot of people are so stuck in their own head that they might want to change, but maybe they don't believe that they could ever change. They almost believe that they were just born to be that way. So you was in a place where you was recently sober, like a few handful of months in the sober stages. You was very overwhelmed. You had kind of a lot of dark places, dark times in your mind. Where are you right now in your life emotionally, in your mind today? Where are you today?
A lot less difficulties with my mental health. A lot less difficulties with my mental health. And any difficulties that do pop up, they're manageable. You know, I can deal with them. I said it, you know, it's like I said it before. I can deal with life now. It's not necessarily like I'm not necessarily having this high flying life kind of thing, but I can deal with life and I like life. So, um, yeah. Any problems that do crop up, wherever they are, like I can deal with them. But I've had a lot fewer problems than I sort of used to have. Um, yeah, you know, I don't look too far. I try my best not to look too far into in advance because then that subtly, subconsciously overwhelms my brain. So I just kind of maybe just sometimes I can just focus on the next couple of hours.
Yeah.
Not even the next 24, just the next couple of hours. Like, I'm going to eat next. I'm going to do this next. I'm going to do that next. Um, and that's that really. Yeah, it just helped me compartmentalize life a little bit and realize what works for me and what doesn't. So um yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's
no,
me.
no.
Yeah.
It's crazy because even when you're saying it, it sounds like so now to you, it's like so second nature, just day by day, compartmentalizing things. And obviously, if you was to ask anyone with uncontrolled ADHD, James, what is the biggest struggle? It's being present, being in the moments, and that's exactly where you are right now. But
Yeah,
and
yeah,
this is what the beautiful thing is about the subconscious mind. You're not forcing that. You're just talking like it's just a part of who you are now. It's just what you do, you know.
hmm,
Whereas if you had to use conscious willpower motivation, it's not sustainable. But where now you've literally in the back of your mind through all the things that you've been doing over the last few months, lots of little things I said to you earlier. Now you're in a situation where you just naturally wake up and you just are someone who just focuses on the current moments that they're in and doesn't
hmm,
let anything overwhelm you. And if it does, you know how to deal with it because you've got tools and you've got a system in your mind. You know, your brain knows how to
yeah,
respond to it automatically. So yeah, I'm extremely
yeah,
proud of you, James. I'll stop the recording for here, but like I said, you're going to inspire many people. There's way too many people with ADHD that have addictions that will listen to you today and be like, do you know what? Yeah, I should change. Whether they speak to me or they speak to someone else, it doesn't matter. The point is that they're going to be inspired to make a change. So, yeah, well done, James. I'm very proud of you. And I'll stop the recording now. One second.